Do you ever just question sanity, reality, and all of the things in between? I do. Especially, ooh, I can smell that brake in it. It hasn't been on fire since yesterday. Especially as I am now out here in minus conditions. It's very cold. I'll try and show you at the end of the video how white everything is if the rain doesn't wash it all away. But here I am, and the reason I'm here is because I'm submising at this point, but I'm very confident that this is my biggest bugbear has happened and someone has fitted a new caliper to this fan. I've only owned this fan for 6 months. It's been fine. New caliper to this fan. Started out yesterday in the cold weather, and it was very, very struggling to move, shall we say. And in amongst that struggling to move, I gathered that there's a brake stuck on. I came around the back of the van after driving a couple hundred yards, and it was glowing. So that's about right. And it's a brand new caliper. So I'm guessing that it is my biggest bugbear. And that is, why is this so short? Anyway, it's my biggest bugbear where they haven't greased up the sliding pins. So let's take a little look. She's free, thank God for that. I was a bit worried on it because it got very hot. I'm going to have to use something else. I can't just trust that jack. Years ago, before I invested in these easy hydraulic jacks, I was using these scissor jacks. 2 of them actually. They were sisters, yeah. And oh, where the hell am I going to put this? No, I've just put that in the place of that. That was stupid. Right, so I think I'll put it. Well, that was silly, wasn't it? Putting that there. I think I'll put him there. If it crushes the cell, oh well. It's only in case, people of the internet. It's only in case. Yeah, right, yeah. Come on now. Where's me thing? There. I think this is actually the jacking point of the vehicle, but some idiot, namely the same idiot that I think didn't grease up these sliding pins, but we'll find out in a moment, decided it'd be a good idea to cover all of the bottom of the van and to, seal stuff, you know. Ooh, an eagle. Anyway, without getting rid of the rust first. So now I've got thick seal all along the bottom of the van. And also thick rust. And the main problem, thin metal. Which isn't good. So, oh, this is taking its time, isn't it? There we go. Is it crumbling? Is it? Right. I leave my wheel nuts nice and loose. Makes it easier if you ever have a puncture. Right, here we go. We're getting somewhere anyway. It's frozen back on. I don't know what we're at now, maybe -2. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit if you're in the States. 15, 20? Yep. Wrong. 12 mil. Nope, I'm going to go straight off then. The extensions make it difficult. 12 mil. Just hit them really hard. Of course they're spinning. That's a good thing. naughty little swine, aren't you? Right in the grave. Why did they do that? Let's bring them round. Ow! Oh, they're broke. Oh yes, I know these ones. These are the ones that I save for when I've got someone else working on my vehicle. Well, somebody help me. Why is it so difficult? They should come out finger tight. Scary thing is, it was a mechanic who fitted these. That's going to snap. Let it cool down. Let it just do its thing. I'm going to spray some spray in there though, because it's not happy. Put some of the old wizard's juice on that. Let that leak on that. I'm going to go back in to get a bit of the WD on the thread. Oh yeah, that freed up a little bit. Now, I should a little bit more. You want more? You can have a bit more. Just because you're starting to behave, I'll let you. Oh yes, oh yes. That's what I like to feel. This is how it should be. Come on now. Surely you don't want more. Surely not. If I put it on that way around, would it be better? It's just... What's that? And it's raining / sleet, which is great. Cool, that's good. Lots of room under here for activities. Like a third engine. This is good. This is good. Okay. Come on now. Just be nice to me. Just ease on out of there. Come on. That's it. You're doing well. Oh yes. Oh yes. Lovely. Cool. We're going. Now we're out. Now we're working. Look at this. See, it's just. Yep. No grease. Let me show you. So, this is one of my biggest bugbears of mechanics working on my vehicles, why I do a lot of it myself. These are sliding pins. Let me repeat that. Sliding. What baffled me is these transits are quite common, and you have to push the handbrake back a little bit and it releases, but it wouldn't release. So I knew it was either caliper or this, but it's a new caliper, so I thought, well, it's unlikely to be that. And then I thought, right, it's got to be what I think it is. These pads, they haven't put any grease. Really, you should put a little bit of grease on the back of these pads as well. This isn't, it's not great under here. So I'm just going to grease these up. I am going to be using lithium grease today because I will do it properly when it's summertime. I just wanted to make sure this is what it was and I didn't need a new caliper, and lithium grease is all I've got to hand right now. I've used it loads and loads of times. In fact, some people just use lithium grease. They don't even care for worrying about temperatures and stuff like that. And because they're back brakes, I'm not worried. So anyway, I'm going to use lithium grease, dip these in, and then that will be it, really. Let me try and replace you. The usual routine, whenever I buy a vehicle, I have to grease the damn sliding pins because the brakes are stuck on. So all of you people out there that are going, my car's not very good on fuel, but I take it to the garage and they maintain it well. This was done by a mechanic at a garage. And I have worked in garages myself, and I even see the people in garages literally fitting brakes with no grease on the sliding pins. And it just riles, it just gets me right into 5th gear. It really does. It's just, anyway, rant over. How am I going to open this grease? That's the new question. Oh no, hold on. Don't matter. I've attacked it that many times. There it comes off. So, if you're in a garage and you find yourself not sliding greasing pins, sliding pins, greasing pins. Right. Anyway, it's really easy. I'll teach on you right now. So, take the rubber boot off. You want to get something to clean it a bit. Of course, in a garage, you'd have all this ready, just sat there waiting for you. Really, you want to clean these properly, with a proper cleaner and stuff. But as I say, I'm just doing a quick job today because it's very cold, and I can't be bothered. Anything is better than none. So I'm just going to do this, get the main of it off. Use a bit of WD. Get some more. I'm using toilet roll. Really, it should be something a bit better than toilet roll, but we're here. It's happening. Nice and clean. Make sure the seal goes on the right way around. That's that way. Actually, I'll put the seal on first. Doesn't matter. Saves me getting in such a mess. Make sure that clips on. It'll feel like it clips over. That's right then. Pull the seal back best you can. Dip in the grease. And then... So, as an additional to this video, someone just walked by and shaved me and... Anyway. So, the brake on the back was the sliding pins. I have done probably, I don't know, 1,500 miles since that, and it's fine. It's absolutely spot on now. There is no problems there, so that's great. Can't remember exactly what I put in this video. The thermostat housing has held up absolutely fine. No problems there. Over that 1,500 miles, it has lost a little bit on the coolant reservoir, so I don't quite know what that is, but I think it's probably just either a weak pipe, because all these pipes are pretty brittle on this. I was going to change them on the day, but it was freezing, and it was just a nightmare, to be honest. I just wanted to get it back on the road and then figure things out. But yeah, that's held up well. Another pointer of today is the reason I'm out here doing this is I'm actually re-greasing a drive shaft. Now most people, even mechanics really, when you hear a knocky drive shaft you think, oh, that's knackered now, you know, the CV's gone. Well, this problem is actually not on the CV side, it's on the gearbox side. I don't know if you'll be able to see all the little bits of residue that are all round under here. Basically, I checked it a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember if I did any sort of video on it. And whilst I was checking it, I dropped the boot just to see what was going on inside, and all the grease came out like liquid. And I mean, it shouldn't be like that, obviously. As you can see there, I put a little bit of fresh grease in now, and that fresh grease is pretty well solid. When I bought the van, it was knocking slightly, just a little tapping sound, and it got worse and worse and worse, and I thought, oh, it's going to need a new drive shaft. So I just jumped straight on the bandwagon of thinking that. And then one day I was driving along and I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I don't do that. I like to repair things. I like to actually make things last longer than they should. Drive shafts are quite expensive, so obviously a save is a save. But I found that because that grease was so weak, I thought, let's just put a little bit of lithium grease in, see if it quietens it. It did. I only cable tied the boot back on, so it was letting all that little bit of liquid grease out as I was driving along. That's what all that mess was. Really, it's obviously that to me because it went quiet the moment I put a bit of grease in. So I'm now repacking it, rebooting it, and if I remember, I'll update to make sure that's worked. But it's another little lesson, really. You know, don't think that something's knackered just because it's making a row. It could just be the grease is bad. Now this fan's on 200,000 mile. The fact that that grease was like water makes me think that maybe this grease is the original, well, the drive shaft is the original drive shaft. Maybe. Or some idiots put some really, really rubbish grease in. But anyway, so that's an update. It was the sliding pins on the brake. That is now fine. The thermostat housing's gone on fine. There's no problem there. And I can't remember if there's anything else I was going to update for the end of this video, but it needed an end, so here we are. And then there's that, which I'll try and remember to update again in the future if anyone's interested, which you never know, someone might be. But this goes for all cars, it's not just Transits, of course. So I'm hoping these go out there and they just help somebody out, save someone a bit of money, and maybe, you know, teach someone how to do things the way that I do them. I mean, I'm not a mechanic by any means, but I've kept the fleet of my own vehicles, and I used to build cars that, like, track car type stuff like that. So I've never had a vehicle fail on me, really, unless I've already bought it knackered. Transits that I've maintained myself that I didn't buy knackered, which is like that other one if you've seen my other videos. The only breakdown as such I've ever had is a boost pipe fell off, and that was because I was in a rush, shall we say. Coming off roundabouts a bit too heavy. And it wasn't tight enough, obviously, so put that back on my way. So that's that, and I hope this helps somebody understand vehicles a bit better, or whatever. Alright, cheers, see you now.